Yes, sir. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Hanging with Beat Drop Podcast, episode 120. Is mayonnaise an instrument? As a dad, I feel like I gotta memorize all these different type of voices because Jacob loves it. All right, let's get to it, man. How you guys doing? How we feeling? Episode 120. We are talking about 120 episodes. It's been a journey. I posted a picture on my Instagram. It was World DJ Day, and I posted a picture of some of not pic. I posted pictures and videos of some of the DJ journey I've been through, and man, it's been a journey, man. I'm not even going front. I was looking, I was like, damn, that's crazy. I was like, it's been a journey, man. It's been a beautiful one, to say the very least. So if you haven't, go check it out. You're gonna be like, damn, B. And a lot of people kept telling me that looks like Jacob. And I was like, yeah, it's my son. You feel me? All right, let's get to it, man. First off, hopefully you are doing good. You are doing great. What are we gonna get into today? I'll tell you what we're gonna get into. All right. I wanna get into a key word, and that is present. Not as in present, like what I love to get for my birthday, you know what I'm saying? Not a present as in like, oh, for me. It's more of like being in the moment, being in the now, okay? A lot of things I saw this week, or I seen, I don't know, something like that, where I was forced to be in the present, okay? And we're gonna get into that. All right. So first off, I wanna share that my parents are going to they actually already went to Guatemala, because you guys listen to this on Tuesday. I'm recording on Monday, and I'm gonna go drop them off. And they're going to Guatemala. I'm excited for them, man. My parents, are gonna be with some other part of my family, and I'm excited for my mom and dad. My mom's, I know my mom is so excited because this woman's been packing for months. Like, I was like, Mom, why is the luggage in the living room and it's October? But I like to mess with her, but I'm happy for them, man. They're super excited. I hope that they are able to flourish in their marriage and have a beautiful time. I'm excited for them. I had to dog sit for Simba. So shout out to Simba. He's in for a rude awakening that I am not gonna babysit him. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna let him sleep outside. That's messed up. And Jacob's excited. Anyways, okay. All that just to share that, I think about how there was so much planning for them, and I'm gonna tell them, a little bit of my episode and be like, be in the present, mom and pops, be in the present. Don't think about how many days we got left. Just enjoy it, because you never know if you're gonna get another opportunity like that again, right? Okay, so why do I want to talk about being in the present, Brian? Oh, I said Brian. I'm sorry, beat drop. The reason why is there was certain times throughout my week where I was extremely, extremely frustrated. I was flustered. I was annoyed. And sometimes you're like, why do I feel like this, man? Is it because I'm thinking about certain things from the past? Am I thinking too much in the future? And, you know, on Sunday, I think this is where I really had my like epiphany. And I was like, okay, and even throughout the day today, I was like, okay, I feel like God was talking through me, and now I'm gonna speak it through this microphone. Okay, so on Sunday, you know, I did my usual routine. I listened to some services, and even with all that, I was still a little annoyed, a little triggered, right? And I was just flustered. I got little, man. I had to kind of like put that to the side for a little bit. And it was my sister's birthday. Well, her birthday's towards the end of this month, but we celebrated it since my parents are leaving to Guatemala, and it was interesting because I was just kind of like in a weird, had a weird moment. Not a bad day. I had a weird moment. And I had my phone. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just put my phone on the table, and I'm gonna just spend time with my fam, my cousins. And throughout that time, I realized I was in the moment. I was in the present, right? And I wasn't thinking about, you know, anything else besides just having those true conversations with my cousins, with my fam. And I noticed I feel a little bit more at peace at that moment. I noticed I wasn't so flustered, so annoyed by certain things that are happening. And I was like, damn, okay. I thought about that when I went to sleep. I said, cool, present. Then in the morning, as I went through my workout, did my whole thing, did my routine, I was like, you know what, B? Let's think about moments in your life. Let's think about certain situations in your life. When have you been, the most stressed, the most flustered, the most anxious? And I thought about it and I said, well, it's either when something's bad's happening or when I think something bad is going to happen or things that have happened in my past that I'm annoyed, guilty, shameful of, or things that I want to happen in the future and all that. And I was like, okay, but most of the time it's things that already happened or things that are gonna happen. And a lot of the times the things that are gonna happen end up not even happening, right? Like how many times have we put ourselves in a position where we think the worst is gonna happen? Like, oh my God, if I have this conversation, you end up having this conversation and you're like, damn, I was stressing out for days, for weeks. I should have not even been tripping about it. So this is why I feel like emphasizing on being on the present is so important, right? Whether that's having a conversation with a friend and me putting my phone on the side and being intentional in this conversation, right? Whether it's me, working out, am I thinking about what's going to happen to, oh my God, or just focusing on my workout, focusing on every rep, every desire to get better, right? So I really want us to emphasize on being on the present because, like I said, I've always noticed that a lot of my stresses or my times of being anxious have always happened when I'm thinking about something that already happened, something that I wish I could have changed, something I wish I could have done better, or something what I think is gonna happen, or something I'm looking forward to, and it doesn't allow me to be in the present, right? Like I've noticed, at least for myself, a lot of the times where I'm thinking about that, and I could be with my son, and I'm thinking, okay, this is, and then and sometimes, you could get humbled real quick because there's been times, but there's been times where Jacob's been like, "Hey, Dad, like you okay?" Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, "Oh snap!" Like my energy's off. I could, and the last thing I ever want is for my son to feel my stresses, right? Like that's not his fault. You feel me? So, I think it's very important that we emphasize on being on the present. And also not just being in the present and not doing nothing, right? Like I don't think it's like being in the present and it's like I'm here right now. I think it's being in the present and being intentional, with extreme focus and also being patient, right? I think I said this a lot in this podcast. People that know me know that I could be very, very impatient, right? And I've been speaking about this, but I want to keep being transparent in when I speak about this because I'm hoping that you guys can see that it's like we all have certain things that we need to work on, no matter what. I'm never gonna be 100%, ever, but my intention, I hope that I'm almost damn near close to it, right? And I could tell that there's things I need to work on, and not just because I say I'm not perfect, that doesn't allow me to be passive about it, right? Like sometimes I feel like we know that we make mistakes, we make it okay to also be like, oh, well, we make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not have consequences to it. Like I think about a moment last week. Jacob did something where I was like, bro, what are we doing? Like I had to have like a dad conversation, like, like non-beat drop, like, hey, like, what's up? Like, what's going on, And Jacob is so funny, man. And honestly, like, Jacob is like, I always tell people, man, God put Jacob in my life at such an interesting time. And I'm so thankful for Jacob because he's my everything, man. Like, he just be making me laugh and he just be doing things where I'm like, bro, like, I could be having the worst day. And with Jacob, he just makes me forget, but all that to say, like, I remember, he did something and I was like, yo, what's going on? And he was like, look, Dad, he's like, we all make mistakes. And I was like, uh-huh. He goes, and it's okay to make mistakes. We're not perfect. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, cool. I taught you well. And he's like, yeah, so Dad, I make mistakes. And I was like, all right, like I'm kind of like, I feel it, but then I'm kind of like, okay, I got to play this a certain way. And I'm like, okay, Jacob, I'm like, but are you doing stuff intentionally that you know you're gonna get in trouble with, because you know you're gonna tell me you make mistakes? So you just kind of like, you're almost asking, you're not asking for permission, you're asking for forgiveness at this point. And he was like, yeah, Dad, I'm glad we could talk about it. And he's like, I'm glad, Dad, you talk about it. I'm thankful for you. And I was like, nah, this was gassing me up. But I'm like, yeah, you know, I took pride, you know, I'm like, all right, cool. But I told him that, but there's consequences to your actions, Jacob. Like, in the end of the day, we make mistakes, but there's still consequences to the things that we do. And he's like, I know, Dad, you know, I'm gonna improve, I'm gonna do this, I'll never do it again. I'm like, Jacob, I'm not telling you you're never gonna do it again, but I want you to focus on your behavior and your actions to try your best to improve from that. You know, I be talking to him like, I be dropping some jams, you know what I'm saying? Dad gang. And he's like, okay. And he always tells me like, thank you for talking about it. I'm like, all right, cool, but consequences. I'm not gonna tell, you know. Anyways, that's me being a parent. I'm just trying to what was my focus on that? Anyways, oh yeah, mistakes. Anyways, all that to say, I'm sorry, man. I get so off track. I like really love just talking. Being in the present, okay? I think being in the present is honestly the most realest thing about life. I mean, just being real. I mean, it's being present and patience. The two P's. Pay. What? Present and patience. Okay. You might say, but how can you be patient when you're in the present? Let me explain. All right. I do not know. You know, in the Bible, there's a verse, and I should have remembered this verse. I should have wrote it down. It was like, don't worry about tomorrow's troubles, because tomorrow's day has its troubles of its own. Something like that. The intent, but you kind of get what I'm saying here. Like, in the end of the day, today's gonna have its own troubles. Tomorrow's gonna have its own troubles. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when I think about life like that, I go, okay, you know, no day is gonna go absolutely perfect, not 100%. Okay, that's cool. I could live with that. But should I be tripping about something that happened 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago? Should I be tripping about something that's gonna happen in a month, in 2 months? Maybe. You know, I mean, obviously there's things I gotta take care of, right? Like, okay, I gotta get my car registration. Should I not worry about it? No, but I'll make sure not to be stressing about it from here till May. You get what I'm saying? So I've noticed that a lot of my times when I feel at peace, or I feel somewhat like joyful, is when I'm in the moment. Literally, when I'm in the moment, when I'm having a great conversations with a friend, with family, with Jacob, it's that's when I feel like, all right, like this is cool, man. Like, I'm really in the present. And then the days come, and you know, we take it day by day. Just give me one more day. That's just kind of how we got to see it. And being patient. I mean, patience, I think that that's something that God has really put for me to just talk about it and to live it. Because I was telling Nessa last time, we were having a FaceTime conversation, and I was just like, we got to be patient. I was like, I feel that sometimes we treat prayer like a UPS tracking number. Like, when you order something and it's like you literally just ordered it, and then you already checked the tracking number and it's like label has not been created yet. That's how I feel sometimes we could be with prayer. Like, I could pray for something and it's like, all right, let me see. Did it come through? What's up? You know what I'm saying? I'm onto something here. But I wanted to say, because Nessa was like, ooh, preach. And I was like, talk to me. But I really feel like that's how we are sometimes. Like, we ask for something, we pray for something, and we're not patient. We're just like, give it to me, God. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying, we got to be patient. We got to be in the present, and we got to focus on what we're doing. And eliminate distractions, man. Let's eliminate so many distractions. I'm like super on that. Like, I could be easily distracted, but like I mentioned a few weeks ago, I took off notifications. I took off anything that makes me feel, that takes me away from the task at hand. The big thing's the big thing. You get what I'm saying? So, that's the energy I hope that, you could be on, is that be in the present, be patient, and just focus. Let's focus on the task that we want to complete. Let's focus on amazing things, and I think that'll be a great way to live this week. And before I get out of here, be the light. I think something that I've been at least talking to over with my therapist is be the light. You know, she says something about pure potentiality, which, you know, I feel like when I heard that, I was like, "Ooh, that sounds beautiful." But you know, it's something along the lines of, you know, I did an exercise of you know feeling it, but it's like God created you before you were even born, fam. I mean, before you were even in this world, before I came out of my mom's womb and said bang bang niner gang, before I said any of that, we already, you know, God made us with so much gifts and talents and amazingness, but it is up to us to move forward and unlock that and be the light. I mean, that just seeing the light. I mean, look at the light on me right now, baby. You feel me? I feel extravaganza. I feel amazing. But that's because you gotta be the light. Show the light. Don't live in the dark. I even reposted something on my mental praise page, which I recommend you follow, about Mr. Jason Wilson, and he said, "Be the light." Be the light. So let's be the light, but let's be a great light. We're not gonna be perfect, but I just feel like right now, you know, I was thinking about how many people, how many friends, how many people that I know or don't know are dealing with stuff or are going through something and are suffering. You feel me? And are just going through stuff. I think about even myself, how much things that I go through, and when I close the door and I pray to God, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel this, all right, I'm not alone. I got God. That's all I need. You get what I'm saying? But I think about so many people that are going through stuff that want to talk about stuff, you know what I'm saying? And I hope that, you know, we could all show our light and we could all be there for each other, for our community, for our loved ones, because in the end of the day, man, our time is limited. We don't know how much life we have, but it all starts with being in the present. It all starts with us, you know, being there for other people. I always say that, be there for other people, be there for yourself. Let's live with love, express your light, show your light. You know what I mean? Like, um, you know, today is another opportunity for us to just, you know, like just be joyful. You know what I mean? I think sometimes I know for myself, I'm gonna speak for myself. I'm not gonna say you guys, but I speak for me. We could overcomplicate things sometimes. In the end of the day, I want to live my life with love. I want to live my life with peace, with joy, with faith, with creativity, with patience. Just all those beautiful, strong words that I feel that when I say those words, I feel different. You know what I'm saying? You know, like Coach Prime, Mr. Deion Sanders says. He says, if what is it? If you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you play good. And if you play good, they pay good. Talk to me nice. You feel me? I think we're good. I think we're good with this episode. I think we're gonna end it like that. I think you know, there's some stuff in there that hopefully could, you know, get you in the right place, get you in the right mindset. You know, every day is another opportunity to get better, man, to, you know, create these habits. You know, I watched a service yesterday about where do you see yourself in 5 years? Physically, with relationships, spiritually, just all those things. And it all starts with the habits you create today, you know. And I think that's true. I think Mr. James Clear says, you know, put a vote into the person you want to become, you know. So sometimes I don't remember the exact words, but the meaning is what I really get, and it's true. You know, I think where do you see yourself in 5 years, you know, or 2, 3 years, whatever, and it all starts with the habits we create today. You know, I think about, you know, all those times that I wake up early and I don't want to work out. You know, I think about all those times I say no to junk food. You know, all those times I say no to things that don't align with me spiritually. And I think that that's all a vote to my identity and the person I want to become. You know, I think about what I could do now so that when I get married, I could be, you know, improve my relationship, you know, as a father. What am I doing now so that in 4 or 5 years, I look back and I'm like, damn, but I was all those deposits, all those things I said no to and said yes to. You feel me? You know, I always appreciate people that reach out, you know, that show love, that are enjoying, you know, the stuff that I'm putting out, you know. And I say all this not because I've perfected it, not at all, but I'm trying it. I'm not even gonna say trying it because I heard don't say try it. I'm training to be it. You get what I'm saying? Like, in the end of the day, you know, I'm just always doing my best to become the version God made me to be. You get what I'm saying? To be the light, to show love, to see me and be like, man, like let's just get better. You get what I'm saying? And I am nowhere near the goals or whatever I have for myself, but every day is a step closer. You feel me? And I'm going to show up even when I don't want to show up, even when I feel like not showing up, even when I feel like my back's against the wall, even when I wake up and I feel in a funky ass mood, or I feel like, man, I'm like, I have a negative, like, is this cool for me to show up even when I feel negative? Is that me being and I'm like, no, because I got to show up no matter what. It's showing up when you don't want to show up that I think really matters. Bars. You feel me? All right, man. Well, love you guys. It's so crazy how I could say love now, like so easy. You know what I'm saying? Like I love you guys. Before it was like, like, oh, yeah, all right, friend. You feel me? But you know, self-love. All right. Love y'all. Y'all have a beautiful, 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 beautiful day. And I hope this weather gets to a stationary place, because I had another gig last week and it got postponed because of the weather. Hey, weather, you messing with my bag, man. Love you guys. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful week. Have a beautiful morning, evening, all of that. Would appreciate it if you guys share the episode. You know, send it to a friend, send it to an amiga, an amigo, whatever you want to do. I appreciate you. All right. I just finished my coffee. As you can tell, I have a different, you know, pep in my step. You see, look, empty. All right. Love you guys. Take care, and may God bless every thought that you have. And I'll be praying for y'all, man. Y'all take care. Peace.